Hello everyone! Today we're diving into HTML and CSS, the dream team behind every great JavaScript project. Before we start, it will really help me out if you liked and subscribed. It seriously helps the channel grow. Alright, let's jump in. Like we mentioned in the previous video, HTML is basically the skeleton of every page. It tells the browser, here's a heading, here's a paragraph, here's a button the user can click. See this super simple example. Pretty straightforward, right? But what is HTML, really? And where did it come from? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It was created in the late 80s and early 90s by Tim Berners-Lee, the same guy who invented the World Wide Web. HTML has been around since the very beginning. It's basically the grandfather of web development. Just like a skeleton has different types of bones for different functions, HTML has different tags for different purposes. These are the top 10 tags you'll see everywhere. H1, big headings. P, paragraphs of text. A, links to other pages. EMG, images. Div, generic container. Span, small inline container. Button, button. Input, input fields. Form, forms to collect data. ULLI, lists and list items. With just these, you can already build a lot. One cool thing, HTML doesn't actually do anything dynamic on its own. It simply structures your content neatly. That's why it's called a markup language, not a programming language. And while those are the most common tags, there are a few more that are super useful but often underappreciated. Section defines a section of content, like a chapter. Article for standalone content, like a blog post. Nav, navigation menus. Aside, sidebar content. Details, expandable sections, perfect for FAQs. Here's an example using details. Seriously underrated. If HTML is the skeleton, CSS is the makeup and the wardrobe. It makes everything look good. Or terrible. It really depends on the developer. Personally, I usually create a bit of a Frankenstein monster. CSS controls colors, fonts, spacing, layouts, and more. You can add these magical styling powers in 3 ways. Inline, right inside the tag using the style attribute. Internal, inside the style tag in the head section of your HTML. External, in a separate .css file. Then you link it to your HTML like this. Pro tip, external CSS is the best option for larger projects. Now that you know how it works, what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Cascading means that when multiple style rules apply to the same element, the browser uses a priority system to decide which one takes effect. It's kind of like being a regular at the pub. You always get served first. Well, now that I think about it, CSS isn't really like that at all. Maybe I've had one beer too many. Anyway, CSS was developed in '96 by Akon William Lee, who was working with Tim Berners-Lee at CERN. We've covered HTML and CSS. Now it's time to bring the whole trio together. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Think of them as the ultimate attacking trio in the Champions League of web development. Here's the code. We created a simple box using HTML and gave it some basic styling with inline CSS to set its size and background color. Then, with a touch of JavaScript, we made it interactive. Clicking the button changes the background color of the box. Just like that, and boom, the color updates. Behind the scenes, we're using document.getElementById to grab the button and the box by their IDs, so we can control them with code. We then attach an event listener to the button that listens for a click, and when it happens, we update the box's background color using, in plain English, when the user clicks the button, JavaScript jumps in and says, "Okay, change the color now," making our page feel alive. That's your first taste of HTML plus CSS, with a little sprinkle of JavaScript magic. There's still a long road ahead, but hey, you can officially tell your friends and family that you are a web developer now. I'll vouch for you. In the next video, we'll dive into the basics of JavaScript and take interactivity to a whole new level. I'll see you in the next dimension.